Now, sometimes we'll have a question about the differences. A lot of people these days will go on Google. They've done their own research. They'll say, I did my research and I get the gist of it. But what they have a question about quite often is what is the difference between a will and a trust? And the most basic way to explain this, because it is quite confusing if you start Googling things and a lot of legalese. The basic difference is that a will essentially leaves a letter to the judge, more than anything, and to your family, quite frankly, that says, this is who's going to own my things. This is who's going to be in charge of my affairs. I want to be buried or cremated if you have any wishes upon that. Some people donate their body to science. That's what the will does. You can put that in there. Um, Anything sentimental, you can also, pass on through the will, but it just covers, who's getting what with the personal property. But the trust has a lot more weight, has a lot more power, has a lot more protections than the will. Now, if you were watching earlier, I did mention to you that having a will does not avoid probate. So you could still end up in the probate court spending thousands of dollars just to make sure that the rest of your assets are protected and that we appointed someone to properly manage your affairs, especially when it comes to real estate, your houses or house. Now, the trust does something completely different. It has more protection in that it can actually act as a protection. I told you it's like a basket, everything's included in there. It transfers upon your death. There are no questions asked, no court supervision, no court involvement. That is the benefit of having the trust, as opposed to the will where you could still end up in probate and the court has to get involved anyway. The trust avoids probate. The trust also transfers the property. I told you earlier that there is no automatic beneficiary to real estate. So the trust actually moves the property however you desired it to be moved upon your death. So that is a big difference between a trust and a will. And again, with a proper estate plan in order, everything regarding probate is avoided with a trust, which is very different and in contrast to a will.